Hey everyone, welcome to episode, I believe 4 of the Let's Create Black Ops Zombies. Today we're going to be learning about switching weapons, because you've probably noticed if you try to pull out two, they just start overlapping. Doesn't look good. Alright, so we're going to create two custom events. Equip animation and unequip animation will be their names. Equip animation will be for pulling your weapon up, and unequip animation will be for putting your weapon down, similar to the reload event. So off of equip animation, create a timeline, play it from start, set it to 0.6 seconds, make a 0 to 1 alpha track, and auto-interpret the keys. Go into the reload animation and copy the weapon placement set relative rotation code and paste it after our timeline. We want to switch the -90 and the 0 in the alert because we're pulling it up instead of putting it down, and next we want to set the relative location. Let's split that, set the Y to our weapon placement location Y, and we want to set Z to alert from -50 to weapon placement location Z, and X from -5 to weapon placement location X. Call equip animation at the end of the equip weapon function. Link the unequip animation to the reverse from the end of the event graph. Next, we want to switch off the direction off of the timeline finished. If it went backwards, we want to destroy our actor equipped weapon and set our equipped weapon to null because we're putting a weapon down. Now, if we want to switch to a new weapon, we need to check if we want to unequip the old one first. Create a custom event called check for weapon and add a weapon class input. If the equipped weapon is valid, call unequip animation and delay for the timeline's length, which we set to 0.6 seconds. Call the equip weapon function with the weapon class as the class. In the equip weapon function, before anything, check if the equipped weapon is valid. If it is, call check for weapon with class for class and don't continue. And if it is not, we do want to continue. And now we can switch weapons. If I didn't mention it earlier, I used inputs 1 through 5 to equip the 5 weapons. Now, to eliminate some bugs, we can still shoot while switching, and that messes a lot of code up, so let's create a boolean called canShoot, add it to the branch on the left mouse click as an AND to not reloading, add the same to the fire trace for automatic weapons. In the equip and unequip animation, set canShoot to false before continuing on to the timeline for both. Off the forward direction, set the canShoot to be true, and off finished backwards for the unequipped timeline, call the clear automatic fire before destroying the actor. Now if we switch our weapon, we stop shooting. Now switching while reloading is still a little messed up because it's trying to do both at once, reload and switch. So create a custom event called stop reloading and set is reloading to false before plugging it into the stop for the reload animation timeline. Add stop reloading after canShoot in the unequip animation. And while we're here, call an unads as well so we stop ADSing when we try to switch weapon. And that fixes that, but we can still switch our weapon to the same gun, so let's make sure we can't do that. So go into the check for weapon custom event. After the is valid check if our equipped weapons class is not equal to the weapon class input to continue. We can keep restarting our reload if we mash the switch weapon buttons, so create a bool called isEquipping off of the beginning of the unequip animation. If isEquipping is false, set it to true and continue on. If it is true, do nothing. Set isEquipping to false after the timeline ends for forward. And now that we can switch weapons, we notice that the SMG placement isn't great, so let's add a variable to adjust our hipfire location. In the weapon master, create a variable called weapon placement offset, which is a vector, set the X in SMG to 20, and then in the first person character, create a new vector variable called OG weapon placement location, so we remember the original position, and we can put that in no edit. Also set it to relative location in the construction script. In the equip weapon, in between attach to component and equip animation, set the weapon placement relative location to the OG weapon placement location plus the equipped weapon's offset. Then update the weapon placement location variable to weapon placement relative location. Now look at the difference between the SMG and the others. You can create an offset for any weapon in any direction. Alright, thanks for watching this episode. I'm glad it was a bit of a short one. We have 2 more episodes on gunplay, and then we are going to get to the zombies, so make sure you stay tuned for that. See you then.
Darling, you send me, I know.